Hello again. It is the Shabbat, so Shabbat Shalom, everybody. And tonight we're going to be doing Mark chapter 8. I have a heavy heart tonight. Some news that I've heard. I'm not going to repeat it here, but just keep me and my family in your prayers, please. And we will start here in chapter 8, verse 1 of the Gospel of Mark. In those days, the multitude being very great, and have nothing to eat, Yahusha said unto his Talmudim, called to him, I have compassion on the multitude, because they have now been with me 3 days, and have nothing to eat. And if I send them away fasting to their own houses, they will faint by the way. For diverse of them came from afar. And his Talmudim answered him, and said, From whence can a man satisfy these men with bread here in the wilderness? He asked them, How many loaves do you have? And they said, 7. And he commanded the people to sit down on the ground. And he took the 7 loaves, and gave thanks, and broke, and gave to his Talmudim, set before them. And they did set before the people. And they had a few small fishes, and he blessed, and commanded them to be set also before them. So they did eat, and were filled, and took up of the broken meat that was left 7 baskets. And they that had eaten were about 4,000, and he sent them away. And straightway he entered into a ship with his Talmudim, and they came into parts of Dalmanutha. And the Parashim came forth, and began to question with him, seeking him from a sign from heaven, tempting him. And he sighed deeply in his ruach, and said, Why does this nation seek after a sign? Amen, I say unto you, there shall be no sign given unto this nation. And he left them, entering a ship again, and departed to the other side. Now the Talmudim had forgotten to take bread, neither had they in the ship with them more than 1 loaf. And he charged them, saying, Take heed, beware of the leaven of the Parashim, and of the leaven of Herod. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, It's because we have no bread. And when Yahusha knew it, he said unto them, Why reason ye, because ye have no bread? Perceive ye not yet, neither understand? Have you your heart yet hardened? Having eyes and see not, having ears and hear not, nor do ye remember? When I broke the 5 loaves among 5,000, how many baskets of fragments ye took up? They say unto him, 12. And when the 7 among the 4,000, and how many baskets full of fragments took ye up? And they said, 7. And he said unto them, How is it that you do not understand? So, I don't know, they were still not making the connection that, this guy, he can do miracles, he's God. Why were they doubting him? Because they didn't have anything to eat. And he came to Beit Sayad. This is Bethsaida, but in the Hebrew it's Beit Sayad, which means house of the hunter. And they brought a blind man to him, and besought him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand, and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes, and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up, and said, I see men as trees walking. And after that he put his hands again upon his eyes, and made him look up, and he was restored, and everything clearly he saw. And he sent him away to his house, saying, Neither go into the town, nor tell it to any in the town. And Yahusha went out, and his Talmudim, into the towns of Caesarea Philippi. And by the way he asked his Talmudim, saying unto them, Whom do men say that I am? And they answered, Yahuchanan the Immerser, but some say Eliyahu, and others one of the prophets. And he said unto them, But whom say ye that I am? And Kepha answered, and said to him, You are Hamashiach, the Messiah. And he charged them that they should tell no man of him. And he began to teach them that the Son of Adam must suffer many things, and be rejected of the elders, and the chief priests and the scribes, and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. And he spoke that saying openly. And Kepha took him, and began to rebuke him. But when he had turned about, and looked on his talmidim, he rebuked Kepha, saying, Get behind me, Satan. For you favor not the things that be of Yahweh, but of the things that be of men. When he had called the people unto his talmidim also, he said unto them, Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself, take up his staff, and follow me. For whosoever will save his life will lose it. But whosoever will lose his life for my sake and the Besoras, the same shall save it. Besora is good news. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful nation, of him also shall the Son of Adam be ashamed, when he comes in the glory of his Father and with the holy angels. Now, these last few verses are very serious, and we need to think about that. Whoever comes after Jesus, whoever follows him, has to deny himself, has to deny his own will. Everything that he wants to do, he has to lay it aside. All his dreams and his hopes, everything that he wants to do for himself, he has to submit it under the will of God, Yahusha. Because he says that narrow is the path that leads to life, and there's not going to be very many that find it. Whoever's ashamed of him and his words in this nation, which is adulterous and sinful, he's also going to be ashamed of us. So we really need to think about these things and follow Jesus and do what he did. Let's be mindful tonight of this saying. Say some prayers and really do some self-inspection, introspection. And let this Sabbath day be the Lord's and not our day. I pray all these things in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Amen.